Hello, welcome back. So we're back on this old Mitsubishi D1800 tractor with the KE95 engine and the timing situation. So if you remember, what we did last time was we put 3 gaskets under the injection pump, and that spaced out the pump 45 thousandths of an inch from the block. And the original gasket was 50 thousandths, so 45 thousandths was as close as I could get. You know, so that's just as good as it gets. Anyway, when the pump was repaired, notice I didn't say overhauled or rebuilt or anything. It wasn't neither one of those. It was just repaired. We replaced the barrels and they weren't called pistons. What were they called? Plungers. In the hopes of, well, fixing something that we perceived needed to be fixed. We put the pump back in and the engine ran exactly the same. So that told me a couple things. It told me that the pump really didn't need to be, fixed, and it also told me that our timing, the way I have it now, was pretty similar to the way it was before. So the engine would run up to 1500 RPM and kind of fall on its face and stumble and all this. So that was pretty, fairly comforting. So what we're going to do today is we'll take this pump back off. I'm going to take these lines off, take the pump back off, take this off, and take one of those gaskets out. Now, one of those gaskets is worth 15 thousandths of an inch. That brings the pump 15 thousandths of an inch closer. And if the internet is to be believed, for every 4 thousandths of an inch you move these pumps, that's good for 1 degree of timing. So 15 thousandths of an inch is going to be close to 4 degrees. So that should be enough to show something. Either the engine's going to run much worse or run better, or it should show something. So that's my plan here. So let's get to work. See, how do I pause this? Alright, so I'm in kind of an awkward position here. Let's see, I hope you can see all that. We got the fuel shut off. I'm going to take just to disconnect this fuel line altogether. Just let that sit. Whoops, I bonked the camera. Let that sit right there. And we got to get these injection lines off. Taking them off up top also, just to get them loose, get them out of the way. There's one. Here comes the other. Alright, those are all loose. We'll take these off. And come on, there we go. Oof. This is just a very, very awkward spot to work in, and the camera's in a weird position. Alright, so I think I'll just take these out altogether. These kind of feed out from underneath the alternator. We'll just pull them out and just get them out of the way. Just set them down over here. And then when we go to run the engine back, we'll crank it over a little bit with the lines open to flush them out. Okay, now I'm going to take this off. All right, welcome back. So I got the pump off. We got we got the gasket. One gasket is out, and we're going to put the pump back in. Just wanted to take a quick peek in there. You can kind of see, I'm trying to show you the cams. Those are the cams that operate the pump. Those are the lobes that operate the pump. It's on its own little shaft. And you actually can see the gear in there. I didn't notice that before. And this device down here, this is from the governor. That's a thing that slides back and forth to, you know, pick your what level of how much fuel you're putting in. Anyhow, let's see if I can get this pump back on. So we have the thing at part throttle. The lever up there is at part throttle, and I have the selector lever kind of more or less in the middle, and we got to try to put this pin lined up into there. So let's try to keep that shaft where it's supposed to be, and it should should just slide right on there. Just try to keep everything lined up. Crap, dropped a bolt. There we go, it feels okay. Feels like it should, I think. I'm just going to tighten these up. Goes on there pretty straight. This other bolt in. Okay, that one started. Where'd that other one go? There it is. Okay. Persuade those to tighten up a little bit. Whoops. With any bit of luck, that's correct. I'm not cranking these too hard just in case I have to take them back out again, in case we find that something is wrong with our, you know, hypothesis of moving gaskets and whatnot. Just snug those down. Okay. All right. Oh, let me do this. Whoop, sorry about that. Let's see, let me relocate you here. There's the, yeah, you can see that. Okay. Put this fuel line back on. I'm gonna open it up and get the air bubbles out. There's that. Oh, and I had to move this. That's right, I forgot to tell you that. I had to move the fuel line. The little, dang it. Put this back where it's supposed to be. I had to rotate the fuel inlet around a little bit to make some space. I was having a spatial conflict. Well, there's not a lot of room here to work. Alright, let's put that fuel line back on. Well, that was dumb. We've got to put the injection lines on before we do that anyway. All right, we're going to go up top. So, these are the injectors, okay? We have the injection lines are off. I'm going to loosen these to give the engine an easier time to crank. Let's see if I can find a spot to put you for that. Can you see? Yeah, that's pretty good. Just going to loosen them. Because now we got to prime the pump and see if we can get the engine to start. Just make these loose. And then I'm going to get the fuel lines, injection lines. Let's see, how did these go? These went up. I'll feed them up underneath the alternator. Maybe. There it is. Get under that wire. right lines going to the right cylinders. That's obviously the line for the injection line for cylinder number 2. Okay, let's put the line in for cylinder number 1, which, by the way, is kind of backwards on the pump. The forward plunger is for cylinder number 2. It's pretty easy to figure out, though. Put these back on. Whoops, I forgot to feed that nut up through there. I hope you can see some of this. Alright. What am I hung up on? There we go. Alright, so we got these in place. Gonna snug these down a little bit. Put my fuel line on. Tighten the hose clamp on my fuel line. Tight quarters down here. Alright. The other thing I wanted to show you was how this pump is primed. Let's see if I can, there we go. So this pump is primed. Tight fit. Sorry about all this. See if you can see this. Is that screw right there? Let's see, can I get you better? This is, yep, that screw right here. You loosen this screw. Let me turn on the fuel. I'll show you. I just turned on the fuel. I'm going to loosen this screw, and the fuel is going to come out. See? Fuel's coming out. The pump is primed. What is that piece of junk right there? Who knows? Anyhow, that pump is now primed. Alright, let's go back up top. Alright, so what we're going to do now is pump it until fuel comes out of here, comes out of these guys, and then we're going to tighten it. Also, one thing that I noticed last time, this injector, when I first cranked the engine over after servicing the injection pump, when I first cranked the engine over, I swear I saw something, a little mist come shooting out of here. I didn't catch it on camera, and I almost didn't catch it with my, my eyes, but I could swear I saw something here. So what I did was, so that could mean nothing. It could mean that there actually was some sort of fluid in that cylinder, and the piston was just pushing it out because this injector is now loose. So all I'm trying to do is kind of isolate that. I swapped injectors. So in other words, if the injector in this position was leaking a little bit, that would certainly cause that behavior. So I just simply swapped them. We're going to keep a close eye on this space right here. When I first crank the engine over, watch for a mist. If there's a mist right here, then that means that this injector has a slow leak. And that's something that's good to know also. Alright, let me just snug these lines down a little bit. Down here at the injection pump, they're still kind of flopping around loosey-goosey. We don't need them too tight, just tight enough so air doesn't get in there. Well, a lot of air. Alright, so we have our, we're going to put our throttle at, a little better than half, and we're just going to crank it until we see fuel coming out of here. Here goes. Oh, and watch that injector. Hold on, let me mount you back up. I got you clamped to a hose right here, so I don't move you around too much. Watch the area on this injector. Watch for some mist. Here we go. Yeah, did you see that? Mist. Here comes the fuel. Okay, we got fuel coming out. Let's, I have the camera clamped to a hose, so it's a little floppy, flippy floppy around stuff. So we're just kind of flushing out those lines, making sure they got fuel in them. And now we're gonna put these back on. But yeah, did you see that? I had mist coming out of this one. That means that I got a leaky injector. I'm not sure there's a whole lot I'm going to do about that right now, but I am going to. It is good to know. So I'm trying to get these. Oh shit! That's the positive terminal. Trying to get these flange nuts back up the line. They kind of fell down here. Let's get them back up where they go. What, that's weird. What did I do? Did I make a mistake? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I made a mistake. I know, right? Who allowed that to happen? Let me take these back out. I did these backwards. Did these lines backwards. So remember when I said the pump is backwards? Yeah, it's not. The front plunger is for cylinder number 1. All right, let's get these nuts back up there. Looking good. Yeah, that was kind of goofy, huh? Funny things you learn. Did I mention it's a tight fit? I think I've mentioned that before. Where does that line want to be? I like to put the lines where they want to be. There we go. Get this flange nut up there. Now, of course, these lines are now empty of their fuel again. What did I do? Ah, there we go. Whoops, sorry about that. Where's my, there it is. Still recording. That. Okay. So we're just going to tighten these back in and see how we do, you know. So it's nice to know this injector's leaking a little bit. Knowledge is good. It's just a simple fix to fix a leaky injector. I've polished nozzles before, like done the you know, the polishing compound on the nozzle seat and stuff like that, but you know, it's just easier to just replace the nozzle. They're just old mechanical nozzles, nothing fancy about it. Now these of course have a torque value that I'm kind of ignoring at the moment. So finish tightening up these lines. So yeah, I had the lines crossed. So the front plunger on the pump connects to this injector. It's not swapped. I made that mistake. Okay, so what we're going to do now is give it a go. We're going to leave the throttle about there. That looks good. And fuel is still on. We're going to turn on the glow plugs for a few moments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go about 20 seconds, I think. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here we go. Remember, those lines are empty. Let's turn up the fuel a little bit. Hit those glow plugs again. Come on. Come on, baby. Talk to me, Goose. Come on. Come on. I know you wanna. I know you wanna. That was the bucket banging around. Real close. We're gonna get it this time. Glowing, 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 glowing. This engine needs a lot of glowing. Here we go. Yeah. Alright, definitely got something weird going on. Check this out. Going up, and then down. And up, and then down. Real weird behavior. Well, that is weird. So that hunting thing that it was doing that when I first fired it up for the first time, and that was because we still had a lot of air in the system. Oh look, I got a leak. Yeah, we still could be getting air in there. Can you see that? This leak right here? Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, if fuel can get out, air can get in. So I think I have to, I don't know, maybe take that back apart, replace some seals, and try again. Stay tuned. Well, the little guy's not okay. It was doing that weird sort of hunting thing. Same thing it was doing when I first fired it up for the very first time. And now it's not fueling at all. The engine stopped running, it stopped fueling. My fuel is turned off at the moment, but I know I have fuel getting to the pump, but the pump is not pumping. So it's always something. Anyhow, as it turns out, I'm out of time to work on this today. I was hoping this was going to be kind of a slam dunk, but it's just not. That's how life goes. Anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.